Hey, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? Hello, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, Susan. Hey, Mary. How are you this evening? So, welcome to, and look like the notification just went out. So, we should be having some more folks come on in here. Oh, good. You can hear me. Hey, Highlander. How you doing? Yes, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, well, well. Good, good, good. Y'all ready to get started? Did you all see the commitment ceremony number 4? Did you all see it? It was a great episode. I know, right? It was. It was. It was. It was. So let's go ahead. Hey, Shamunda. Hey, Shamunda. Hey, Shamunda. We're going to get started in a few seconds. I want to make sure everybody come on in that is coming on in. Yeah, it was a pretty good episode today. Oh my God, it was crazy. Hi, Hillary Jane. How are you? How you doing? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Yes, we had a crazy commitment ceremony where two brides face off at this ceremony after another bride ran off, right? So, we're definitely not surprised, at this, following the dinner party. We're not surprised that Carolina and Dion, because, before we got to the ceremony, there was people getting ready. Um, Carolina and Dion woke up in separate apartments. So because they didn't want to stay in the same space together. Dion said he was confused. There are things that are telling him that he should be running, but he still think it's early. We saw that. Remember what happened this past week with Daniel catching up with Carolina, but look like this week episode is about to be real crazy because look like that's not the last time we see Daniel, right? And then with Kate and Matt, they're still being cold. I mean, he was asking her if she wanted some tea and all of that, and she was like, "No, I'm good." It's just this is what I don't like about the commitment ceremony is that when one person says stay, the other person says leave, the person that leaves have to stay. I mean, it don't make any sense to me. So let's go ahead. You feel bad for Matt? Yes, me too. Me too. Skylar. Hey, Skylar. Olivia has been butting in, but she has butted in on the wrong side. This woman questioned Holly truth. Then for a bully person, she wants to defend mean Carolina. At least Jess left the show. Carolina sticks around for Daniel. Right, exactly. Never ever see Kate smile. No, we don't. Like, you know what? We did a live on Thursday, and one of the biggest things we said about Kate is that she's an ice queen. I mean, there's no she's just she looked like she's just tense all the time, and she don't say too much. We don't unless the cameras are only catching her saying yeah, yeah all the time. But we don't see much from Kate. We see a lot from Matt though. When she said she's nice, I saw Alyssa vibes. I know. Every time somebody says I'm a good person, because even on Love Is Blind, Shake said I'm a good person. Now we have Kate saying I'm a good person. We even heard Carolina say, "But I'm a good person." when she was talking to Dion when she was walking out. So it always, when I guess Alyssa said it so much on Married at First Sight US, that now that's a buzzword now that triggers everybody when they hear I'm a good person. Susan says she does not know how to be in a relationship. And hey, Rebel. Hey, Tassie. No, Tassie, we just got started. We just got started. We're just doing the prelims. We haven't jumped into the couples and the conversation with the experts yet. And Rebel says, I take perfume any day. I know, right? Kim said that is the quote for 2022. You know what? I'm a good person is going to be the buzzword of the year. And Alyssa is the one that carved it in stone. So now when we hear other reality TV cast members say it, we automatically think about Alyssa. Kate is a doorknob who doesn't try. Yeah, she definitely is not putting in the work. But we're going to talk about them one by one. So, first up, who we're going to talk about is Dominica and Jack. We're going to go ahead and talk about them. And also, I just want to say before I get started, thank you guys. I hit 25,000 subscribers today. I was so excited about all of the support for this channel. I'm so happy, happy, happy. Thank you so much. I love all of you guys. And if those ones, some of you guys follow me on IG, I hit 13,000 on IG as well, Instagram, and there's my Instagram handle right there. So if you have Instagram, you want to follow me over there, I post on all of the shows that I recap, pictures, any updates. Really, a lot of the tea that happens with a lot of the cast members are on Instagram. They hit Instagram, maybe Reddit first, and then it kind of filters over to YouTube and then Facebook. Yes, I did respond to you. I saw your message. Thank you so much, Tassie. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Mary. Thank you. Hey, Jocelyn, welcome for Canada. Canada is checking in. Um, let's see. Mary said Kate had 39 years to get in her head who she thinks is her guy. She's delusional, and now she wants one now. I know. I mean, it's like, what were you thinking, Kate? You made up an imaginary guy. Hillary says, I love a man like Dion. He's a gentleman. Yeah, I mean, he definitely was very, very accommodating when it came to Carolina. So, Hillary, you just subscribed. Thank you so much. Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Shamanda. I really appreciate your congrats. I really appreciate it. I am so happy, happy, happy. Okay. So we got Dominica and Jack. We didn't have a lot on them. I kind of want to get the easy stuff out the way. Um, when they sat down in front of the experts, Dominica was gushing over the fact of that picnic that she did, surprise Jack with, and bringing the two dogs along. And Jack was talking about he cried so much, and that being that he had that feeling, it was a real connection with Dominica. And in return, Dominica, she went on about her caring and compassionate partner. And so, of course, they both wrote stay. So, nothing big there. I think the biggest thing about Dominica came later. And we're going to talk about that because she interjected between Carolina and Dion. My friend said she pushed Carolina down a flight of stairs by now. Yeah, well, like I said, I don't want to encourage violence over here, Tassie, but that's all I'm gonna say. Um, but yeah, so they decide to write stay. No biggie there. Only thing that I wonder is that Dominica has a very overwhelming and overpowering personality. And as long as Jack is okay with that in the long term, maybe they'll be okay with that. Maybe he likes to chill. Maybe they balance each other out. She's more extroverted, and it seemed like Jack is a little more introverted. So it's a possibility that the two of them, can balance each other out. But if you know, Dominica starts to see Jack as being a little bit too not like her, and then Jack thinks she's too overwhelming. That's the only thing I can see as a problem with these two. Yep. Channel called Couch Potato has phone conversations with the cast members. Really? Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna definitely have to check that out. Couch Potato. Okay, cool. So they have are these conversations like within the past couple days or what? So tired of Olivia's superiority complex. I got you, Lisa. Hey, Lisa, welcome. Asha Ray, hey girl, what's going on? Dominica is my girl, probably one of my favorite females. Her personality is strong, and I think Jack gives her balance because he laid back. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they kind of balance each other out. Because I don't think Dominica could be with somebody as strong willed as she is or extroverted as she is. They probably would have a tug of war. So for him being kind of chill and laid back and her being a lot more extroverted, I think that's where the two of them balance each other out. Dominica has to expect some pushback when she inserts herself. I do agree. Because everybody don't want you chiming in on their business. I mean, at some point, people are going to be like, okay, back off. Let me deal with what I'm dealing with. Exactly, Lisa. Okay, Dominica is looking more and more like Lindsay on every episode. I know, right, Highlander? That that's a perfect comparison. Olivia steps in, it appears, yes. I'm not sure, but they talked to Ella, Andrew, and Carolina, who hung up on the call. Are you serious, Mary? Okay. Do me a favor, Mary. I think either email me or send me if you can get the link to that YouTube channel. Send it to me so I can check them out. Hillary says, I don't eat breakfast. My husband of 49 years does. And you know what? That's the thing. I mean, there are people who don't eat breakfast, and the other partner or spouse do eat breakfast. But obviously, that's a big deal to Carolina. She's an example of a strong woman. Are you talking about Dominica? Yeah. So honestly, I just think these two balance out. He's a definite laid back personality. So as long as these two can continue to kind of stay in that chill mode and everything, and she's that overpowering energy, they definitely have two different energies in that relationship. So we'll definitely have to see, because I'm going to continue following them and see how everything turns out with each of the couples after the season. Not good on internet, but it's a YouTube channel. Okay, Mary. I'll just try to put the name in the search field on YouTube. The show needs someone like Dominica who's outspoken and cast to shake things up. Okay, so here's the two-part thing about that. It's one thing when production wants drama and they use one of the cast members to be the one to kind of shake up everything. But in all reality, I don't think somebody want a busybody in their relationship like Dominica. I mean, these are adults, and at the same time, when we talk about Dion and Carolina, you know, um, I don't know. I think the experts just said what they had said to them, and I don't want to jump ahead, but I mean, there's mixed reviews because again, I like to watch the temperature in the comment section. So you have some folks that are on, Team Dominica, and then you have some that is like Team Dominica butt out. So, man, okay, I'll let you know when I find it. Okay. Tassie says, my fat cat from the other day is lying on my arm, so I'm trying. Oh, okay. Typing with the wrong hand. I'll take Dom over Olivia. You know what? I mean, I'm not on Olivia's side too much either because it makes her look like she's being self righteous. But at the same time, if the three experts already put their 2 cents, because that's their job, their job is to give commentary, is to give advice, is to call out. That's their job. And after all three of them did that, then Dominica just chimed into this. And it's like, hold on. And, that's the part. I don't like pushy people. I don't like people jumping in people's business. It's just my thing. If they ask for your advice, that's one thing. But especially after the experts had already counseled them and tried to get them back to where they need to be and all of that. Next thing we hear her saying some stuff. So we'll get more in depth in that when we get to Carolina and Dion. Dominica was beating a dead horse at that point. Yep. Hey David. Hey, there's Mr. David. How you doing? Dominica needs to butt out of everyone's issues. Yeah, that's my thing. I honestly think that it's one thing if people ask for your advice, but to throw, just jump in people's business, I I I think this is doing too much. But the drama is there for it, and the production team is there for it, and even the experts because they didn't even stop her. Um, Mary says Olivia called out Holly without knowing the truth. True. Wait till she finds out about Carolina and Daniel. See, that's why I don't believe in these experts pushing people together and making them stay when they want to leave. It would be different if she was saying, I want to stay, stay, stay. I want to work this out. And then she's trying to get away to be with Daniel. This girl clearly wants out. She wants out. She said, I want to leave. She's telling Dion, I don't want to be with you. So at what point do you allow this person to leave this experiment and just figure out what she want to do with somebody else new, whether it was Daniel or somebody down the street from her job, that she met? I mean, at some point they got to cut these people loose if they don't want to be together. It's rubbish. They should have let them leave. Exactly, David. With Matt, he should have been allowed to go home. Exactly. Because also Dion changed his from stay to leave, and they talked him back into staying. And I'm like, why? I understand you need content, but you got what, 8 other couples that you can do that with? Why force them people to be with somebody that knows that the other person don't want to be with them? I like Dom, but I do think she speaks out when she shouldn't. Hey, DI4JD, welcome. Yes, that rule about having to stay is awful. It is absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, she clearly wants out, and if she wants to leave and find the person who's better suited for her, because technically Daniel is free. Jess is gone. Daniel and her is over, and they're not legally married anyway. So walking out of this experiment, they don't have to go through a divorce. And being it's the same situation for the Carolina and Dion, why force these people together when she can go find who she wants? You could get, even if Dion went home and he said, I want to leave, and they said, Carolina, we know you're interested in Daniel and you want drama for the show, fine. But don't create a situation where she's still in this so-called marriage with Dion and then got you're filming her creeping around with Daniel. That's opposite of what you want them to do. You want them to stay in the marriage, but at the same time you want to film them sneaking around with somebody else. That makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. The next episode, Dom smashes a glass at Olivia. Yeah, that it's going to get real ugly. And I think this is also the week where we see all of the couples walk out. Because remember, that was one of the previews before the season started about how all of the couples walk out on the experts. So I'm thinking that's going to happen this week. I seen the week preview. Had Carolina felt any attraction for Dion, none of these so-called issues, not eating breakfast, musical taste, gym would matter. She's grasping at anything to explain her BS behavior. Um, Jocelyn, welcome. I haven't seen you here, so welcome, welcome, welcome. I do understand to a point, but that girl knew from the beginning that she was not interested. It was the day after the wedding when she said, I'm not attracted to you. She was done. That was even before she met Daniel at the dinner party. She was not interested in Dion at the time when I think they had that little honesty box, and she told him, maybe some people might want you for your money and find that attractive, but I ain't that girl. So she was checked out a while ago. It's not like, she was reaching for straws to get with Daniel. That girl was checked out on Dion early on. I mean, she got to the altar. Yes, she married him. She realized that she wasn't attracted to him or interested in him. And it's been downhill ever since. I mean, the man been cooking and doing everything else, wrote a letter, and it's just not, it ain't working. So at what point do you cut your losses? And to force these people into this, that whole leave or stay. I mean, on the US side, even though they're legally married, they have the month anniversary, I think. And there's maybe, I think, one recommitment ceremony thing, whether they want to do something. They only get one. And I think it's in the middle of the season, if I can remember correctly. But, my thing is, even at decision day, if one of the couples say, I want to stay married, and the other one say, I want to get a divorce, guess what? They get a divorce. So I don't know why, if these people are saying stay and leave, the person that says stay over, it supersedes the person that says leave. That makes no sense. The walkout must be at the next commitment ceremony. You think so? Because I saw a clip that came out on Married at First Sight Instagram account that is supposed to be this week. Um, let's see. I find it hard to believe the experts aren't aware of Carolina. Of course they are. I mean, come on. They've been watching every other thing. You mean to tell me the experts don't know about Daniel? Of course they do, but it's all part of the drama that they're creating. Hillary yesterday, like Jackson, is taking a second look at his wife attitude. Yes. And see, this is what I was talking about early on. It's been smooth sailing and rainbows and stars and happiness. At what point does something happen that kind of throw everything off? I like it when they make them stay, but in Dion case, they need to let him go. Absolutely, Dion need to go. I honestly think Matt need to go. I mean, Kate does not want this man. I don't care how much perfume he buys. I don't care how much tea he makes. I don't care whatever she's not interested. And to force, she says she's even trying hard to make a friendship out of this thing. So all right, so let me stay on track. Let's talk about Kate and Matt while we're on it. So let's see, where's Kate and Matt? Dang, what happened to my Dion, Carolina? What happened to my Kate and Matt picture? Oh no, I didn't delete it. Okay, here it is. Okay, got it. Okay. So we're gonna talk about Kate and Matt. So when they sit down with the experts, Matt admits that they kind of hit a hurdle. The hurdle, of course, is Kate isn't attracted to Matt in the slightest. And Kate pretty much said, to be honest, are you seeing the reality of this situation? I'm not touching you. We're not kissing. I mean, but he claimed he's being an optimist, trying to see the glass half full. And that Kate is taking a glass half empty approach. I mean, Kate says she is struggling trying to build a connection just by being around him. She's not interested. And that's the problem. Don't sign up for a show that's an arranged marriage or arranged engagement, because there's a chance that whoever they put you with, you might not find a connection with. Um, John Aiken though told her, um, let me see. He told her that he didn't like what he saw at the dinner party. That she looked at Matt as if he was not good enough, and that's not friendly. That's contempt. Um, and then that's when we hear Kate say, "I'm actually a really nice person," and there's those Alyssa vibes. That's not me. And then she did apologize to Matt for whatever, and then she started crying. And Matt even tried to give her a glass of water and, gave her a tissue. And he was even trying to console her. And she kind of pulled away from him. And so she wrote leave and Matt wrote stay. But the couple still stay in the relationship. This girl, I mean, she's not interested. Why force people to be in something? Because here's my worry about something like this. And I mean, we kind of saw what we saw on Married at First Sight season 12 in Atlanta. Chris clearly and Paige, that whole thing went off the rails, right? Because you learn that you have a situation where people are not clicking, okay? What I'm afraid of eventually one day, or my concern, I won't say afraid, is that they put somebody in a situation where they don't want to be. And I guess they can leave when they want. I'm assuming even after they say stay and leave. But what happens in a situation where a person feel like they're cornered or locked in and then they lash out or have an emotional breakdown or because they don't want to be in this situation? What happens? Does it get that far? And you guys, let me know because I haven't went back to see all of the Married at First Sight Australia seasons. Have there ever been someone that felt like they were so locked into a situation that they just had a meltdown? Let's see what's in the comments. So, seems they signed on more people this season than normal who shouldn't been there. You know what? You're absolutely right. It was a lot of people. That's a lot of couples. Matt Mama dropped him when he was a kid. David. That's not nice. I'm sure her twin is totally different. You know what, Kim? I honestly heard that sometimes you can have identical twins and one have more of an extroverted personality and one has more of an introverted personality. I've actually heard that they can be totally opposite. Susan, who's a troll, Susan? Where you see a troll? Where? Oh, let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. Alrighty, let's keep it going. Hey, the Lockstar Chronicles. Hey there, how are you? Welcome. When Kate turned on the waterworks, I rolled my eyes. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, she knew that she really wasn't connected to that to Matt. She knew that high pitch. Yeah, yeah, that was hilarious. They definitely got that on camera. I was like, what was that, Tassie? Rebel says she was crying because she looked bad in front of everyone, not because she cares. Absolutely, because she's not interested. Hi, Tracy. Welcome, Tracy Chapel. Kate and Matt look like siblings in the face. So for her to say anything about look shocks. You think so, Tracy? You think they look alike? What do you guys think? Do you think let me see, because I think David said yes. You think they look alike? Okay. Tracy said if they really want to leave, they can leave. Even if they write stay or leave, they walk off the show every season. Okay, got it. I appreciate that. Oh, that Chris and Paige thing was so uncomfortable. Absolutely. You know how they ended Alyssa and Chris on this season of season 14? They should have been able to allow previous cast members to leave. But I think because it created so much drama, I think season 12 was the highest rated season because it got the most views. They were in the top 5 for Wednesday nights here in the States. And I think each episode got over like 1.2, 1.6 million views. Unfortunately, I guess production look more at views, ratings, endorsements, and of course, they're running to the bank with the cash that they get from that. But in the process, you got people that's getting damaged in this whole situation. Why did she sign up for the show? Kim, that's a good question. Look at just last week. You can just leave. Okay, so good. If these people can just leave, why don't they? They should just leave. If you truly about leaving, leave. That was a super abusive relationship. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Kate is like watching paint dry. Oh my God. Tell me about it. It's just like, it's like at this point, Kate, show some energy. I mean, unless, like I say, we only getting bits and pieces or whatever, because I do know production create narratives, but I don't think that's the case with Kate. I think this is what we see of Kate. That's what's going on with Kate. Rebel said, "Oh, you so funny, Mary. On Kate on a date. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is her only conversation. I know, right?" Rebel says after Luke and Kate season, people can leave. You know what? Because he was definitely doing a lot of gaslighting. Luke, oh, I'm thinking about the other guy. Oh my gosh. What was that other guy that was with I forgot his name. He was the muscular guy. He was the guy with the dark hair. I think he was on season 9, maybe. I forgot that girl. I forgot that couple's name. They want more exposure and IG followers. Absolutely. David says, I appreciate the experts for asking her, what have you done to be connected? She was held accountable and she knew she was wrong. And that's what the experts are supposed to do. You need to stick a mirror in front of her face and say, look, you don't think you're doing anything wrong, but you need to see this. This is your behavior. This is what you haven't been doing to connect with Matt. And just by being in the room is your way of connecting. And you see how when they ask her, what have you been doing to connect with Matt? It took her forever and a day to come up with an answer. She was like, um, well, I was there. That's not enough, Kate. It's not enough. So come on now. Let's see. Maybe they stay because they need attention or something. Yeah, it's confusing because I wouldn't, me myself, that would be way too uncomfortable. If I'm not interested in a person, why am I going to continue to be there? I mean, yeah, people go on there for internet followers or IG followers and things like that, but is it worth the headache? We heard crickets. Absolutely. There was no sound. She was just sitting up there like, um, well, and then say, well, I was just there. Tracy says, I think some of them stay because of contractual obligations and fear of being fined. Yeah, I guess if that's the case, you got to realize you got to be careful and know what you're signing up for. Now, I have heard that some cast members from a lot of the different shows actually say that they've never seen the show. Because there are people from on the US side that have actually been recruited. Yeah. And when they say, hey, would you like to come on and be on the show? Are you single? Are you interested in dating? We want you to be on this TV show. Have you ever heard of Married at First Sight? And if they haven't, that makes it a whole lot easier for production because people don't know how reality TV works. They go on there thinking that, oh, I'm just going to, this is a dating show. I'm just going to find the person of my wit. And next thing you know, you become the villain. Or your behavior, thinking that you're just speaking in your truth, now is villainized. So I don't think I'd force someone to like me. Absolutely. Shamunda, I 110% agree. There is no way I would want somebody to force themselves to be with me. You are absolutely correct. No way. All right. But yeah, when it comes to Kate and Matt, I mean, and Matt is, I understand the whole optimism in life about certain things, but when a person is showing you who they are, believe them. And she's showing you that she is not interested in you. So why are you still staying there? It makes no sense, you know. And I don't, it does, it just seems like it's a disservice to him because he's a sweet guy. He could find somebody who's more connected with him. Kate is just not that girl. And I don't know what man in her imaginary thoughts is the man for her. Because I think there's some random guy in her head that she's looking for that technically don't exist, maybe in the 7 billion people that's on this planet. Yes, Kim, thank you so much. Hit that like button. Also, check out, you can follow me over on IG at Romance Review TV. And also, too, I do have anybody looking for natural skincare, my link is listed there above as well. Also, if you want to support the channel, feel free to do so. My cash tag is there. Just just less than smart behavior. I would have Googled the show. Rebel, absolutely. If somebody come and tell me and say, hey, why don't you come on the show and check us out? And we're interested, I will most definitely go to Google and see what this show about, even watch a couple episodes. And once I realize that this might not be what I'm interested in, I wouldn't do it. But you do have some people who think that this is an opportunity to blow up their Instagrams and TikToks and Twitters and accounts where they have this huge following. Because at the end of the day, once these people leave these TV shows and they, that 15 minutes of fame is over, if they still have all of these followers, this is their way of getting brand deals. I mean, just alone Deepti from Love is Blind. And right now, because, with her, choosing herself, not marrying Shake, she's almost at 700,000 followers in the past 3 weeks. That's how big this thing could be. And a lot of people who do know about reality TV know that that is the possibility. The problem is that whether or not you're going to be put as as the villain or as the angel of the show. So yeah, Deep T, because of everything that happened with Shake. Now Shake did still get over 100 and some thousand followers because there are some people that support. There are some people that didn't like how things went down at the reunion this past Friday. There he got some support out there too. So even as a villain, his followers were probably at 4 or 5 thousand. Same thing with Deep T, but because of the show, he went to 100,000 followers, and she's almost at 700,000. So believe me, brand deals and stuff are definitely going to come her way. Who knows where other opportunities are going to come? But the problem with that is, like I say, when you sign up for this show, if you're going in for that reason, you don't know how you're going to be painted. So all I'm going to say right there. Okay, so this is my second season of watching Australia, so my point of reference is limited. Really don't like the other couples joining the experiment so late. Yeah, I didn't agree with that either. To me, I mean, I know they lost like Selena and Anthony, Holly and Andrew, but why bring, because from what I understand, at the time of filming, this is week 9 for them. So they've already been in this experiment a little over 2 months, which means probably about 2 weeks prior, the other three couples came in. So that means that the other couples was 7 weeks ahead of these new couples that came in, which it don't make sense to me. All those followers worth your peace of mind, career, because let's not forget this thing can, yes, it can. If you say the wrong thing or something offensive or, whatever, your 700,000 followers can turn against you in an instant. So I agree. It's interesting when they bring people from previous season back like Lizzie. Mary says that channel talked to Jess too, and you gotta hear what she says. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Tracy says that added some really good couples late in the game. Before this season, they added three terrible couples, so it backfired. Absolutely, I agree. Kim said for ratings. Yep. Just my opinion. Watching paint dry is more exciting than watching. Oh my God, Jocelyn. Oh my God. So watching paint dry is more fun than watching Kate. Oh yeah. David, she is her petty hat is is really on right now. That is hilarious. But yeah, I don't agree with that either. Why would you add three couples when you got six or seven couples already 7 weeks ahead of them? And then depending on the length of the experiment, okay, so if just say the experiments have another what 2 3 weeks, does that mean that the three couples didn't get as much time as the original OG couples? That makes no sense. Hey, yes, I did. Yes, I did, David. I saw them. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Um, doesn't make sense to add new people. Nope, I agree. And the people that they add, all three of them crashed and burned. I mean, the relationships per se, not them, but the relationship. Daniel and Jess didn't last what a couple days. They couldn't even get to move in with each other. Um, Matt and Kate, we just talked about them, and then now this whole thing with Carolina and Dion. I mean, all three couples was a disaster. I think some of them are actors. That's what they were saying about Holly. People were saying Holly was an actor at some point. I believe so too. Even the Matt dude could be an actor. You think so? That's possible. I mean, because if he's acting as the good guy and Kate is like, oh, that's possibility because he is really taking it all in stride with what Kate is dishing her. I mean, dishing him. Yeah. Okay. So let's keep it moving. And we're going to go back to, well, move on to our next couple. And the couple is Ella and Mitch. So it definitely doesn't take long for Mitch's threat of leaving the experiment to come to the surface. Mitch says that this environment is tough, being open is tough. But Mel pointed out to him that what all these couples want some sort of privacy, but you join a public experiment. And that's interesting because even if he never heard of the show, if they told him you're going to be on TV to be on a dating show, the thing is it's public. Millions of people are going to see it. Not only in Australia, we're watching it here in the US. There are people in Canada because I know we had some Canada people check in. And people around the globe is watching this. So for you to talking about, oh, I like my privacy, this ain't the place for that. Sorry, I hate to inform you of that. Mitch also said that being in this experiment does not feel like reality because he's struggling with the couples. I mean, with the cameras. Um, and so Mel turn around and tell him, I need to jump in with a reality check for you. A camera following you is very much par for the course here. That stuff happens to everybody. So I guess they were trying to, I guess, tell him, look, you think the cameras are just out to get you. The cameras following each and every couple on this show. You're not the only one that got cameras. Because I guess he was talking about how, when he got ready to leave, the cameras was following him out the door, in the hallways, down the stairs. And he was like, that was absolutely ridiculous. Now, he did say he understand that this is TV, but he never imagined it would be like this. Now, I will say I could agree with that because, like, I don't know if I remember telling you guys at one point, my daughter, about 3 4 years ago, was offered an opportunity to do reality TV on a TLC. TLC is a channel here. And I told her, once we looked at everything, I was like, if you want to keep your life intact, don't do the show. People don't realize that when they sign up for this, you got to be mentally prepared for the filming, who you're interacting with, what the editors and producers are going to do with your character after filming is over. You have to be prepared for all of that. You got to be prepared for social media, because if social media don't like something that you say, they're going to come for you. So, and a lot of times people, when this filming happened, the show's not aired yet, so these people get to see how they're edited in real time. So you could have made a bunch of statements, you could have said a bunch of things, but how the editors and producers use that when the show is aired may look totally different than how you said it. Things may be out of context to fit whatever drama they want to create, right? You got to be prepared for that. So for Mitch to say, I can understand this is TV, but I never imagined it was going to be like this, I can agree with that. A lot of these people don't know what they're getting into. Let's see. So Mitch is a model. How does he not like cameras? Well, it's one thing you take a couple of pictures, but you're talking about a photo shoot that maybe lasts a few hours and then you go home, versus somebody, your every moment in your life, when you go to eat, when you go to kiss your wife, when you go to bed, when you go, the cameras are there. Now here's where I see a contradiction with Mitch, because let's kind of rewind the film going backwards about 8 weeks, because remember this is week 9 for them, right? Do you guys remember on the honeymoon when Ella was in the mirror brushing her teeth? He was standing upside down in the shower with his near with his naked behind showing on camera. Do you guys remember that? Drop yes in the comments if you remember that happening on their honeymoon. So for somebody that is really worried about the cameras, in that moment, he definitely wasn't worried, because I think he was one of the first guys besides Andrew who we actually got to see his butt on camera. Kim said, "Yes, I remember." Exactly. Yep, look at all the yeses. The shower scene, absolutely. So, for you to be so concerned about the cameras, and I didn't know it was like this, you had no problem showing your behind on camera doing a handstand in that shower. And I'm surprised. See, and here's the thing. If I was the experts, I would have called that out. I would have been like, okay, wait a minute, Mitch, you got problems with the camera? We did notice that on your honeymoon, you were on camera doing ABCD. So which one is it? Are you afraid of the cameras or no? Experts should have remembered to call that out. I think sometimes the experts had missed opportunities on certain things. You know? David said when everything was going well, he didn't have a problem. Now it's going crazy. He has issues. Um, the only thing that really kind of triggered this thing, well, hold on. Let's see. So they did have the intimacy week, and Ella wanted to do the whole kissing challenge for 5 minutes, and he was like, "I'm not gonna kiss on camera." But they were basically lusting after each other at the wedding. You guys remember that? I mean, Ella was licking her lips, and he was looked like he was drooling, and I mean, they were in the bathtub with each other. It's like, okay, y'all did all of that, and you can't kiss this girl on camera for 5 minutes. Yeah, Mary. It said they may have mentioned, but it probably. I wish they had a. If I'm hoping that's not the case, Kim. It would have been great if we had heard that, because that would have been something to kind. That would have been the coup de grace at that point, because it's like, how you don't want the cameras and you want privacy, but you show your butt. I mean, come on, that doesn't make sense. And there would have been nothing he could have said about that at all. I think the experts don't say enough to try to help. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. So John stepped in, telling him that using the experiment as a reason for his problems is a cop out. If you can't handle it here as a couple, you're not going to make it on the outside in the real world. That part, to me, that statement didn't make any sense. Here's the thing, because everybody don't have to go on a reality TV show and do all those experiments and challenges and have a great relationship. So for him to actually say, well, if you can't do it in here, it ain't going to work out there. Yeah, okay. There are couples who were on this show and didn't work and end up in marriages with other people outside of the show, especially on Married at First Sight in the US. There's several couples who they didn't do the experiment and finish it with that person maybe, but was able to find a relationship after that. Let's see. Debbie says this all started with Mitch and Ella wanting to get deeper than surface. Yeah. Now that part I did mention on one of the lives we did a few weeks ago is that they have to go deep. Now, are we getting that conversation? Because Ella don't think he's having a deep conversation. Because remember he asked the question about where's the craziest place you ever had sex, and Ella was looking at him like that's all you got. So I think they needed to go deep. Hopefully they have, but David sent me some interesting things, so I don't know if they got deep or not, but I'm not going to go there. Sorry, I actually missed the first few episodes. Was Ella the one held off having sex for a certain number of dates? Guys, um I'm trying to remember. Hanan-san, welcome, welcome. Do you like Brent and Tamara? We're going to talk about them in a minute. When we get there. Yes, Lockstar. Yes. Yes, that is correct. They're not going to work out. Well, we'll have to see, Kim. Yes, Ella had a 3-date rule. Yes, she did. Okay, I remember that now. Yeah, but she rushed through that 3-date rule in one day because she was like, okay, the marriage is date one. Because she really wanted to be with Mitch. They were extremely attracted to each other at that wedding. I have never seen a wedding where two people look so thirsty to be with each other. I was like, I was sitting up there like, wow, is it like that? That was crazy. Yeah, I remember now. Thanks, Mary. Yeah, I forgot about that 3-date rule. That was early in the season. That was definitely early in the season. But yeah, I didn't think that comment made sense. If you can't make it in here, you can't make it in the real world. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. I mean, everybody don't have to go on a dating reality show to be in a good relationship. Okay, John, whatever. But it seemed like with what the experts told Mitch, it did hit home for him. So both Ella and Mitch decided that they're going to go ahead and stay in the experiment. Kim said 3 dates that went out the window on the wedding night. Exactly. She went through her head counting. Okay, the marriage is 1 date. The reception could be a second date. And then, okay, fine, cool, let's go. I was like, girl, come on. You went and signed up to be married, supposedly, on this show, and you worried about 3 dates. But I mean, hey, some people have a different comfort level when they want to sleep with each other. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, honestly, you know, they decided to stay. We have to wait around and see what's gonna happen. We don't talk spoilers in here. Some people don't want to know up, down, left, right, whatever happens to any of the couples from both shows that I talk about. So we're going to leave it right there. All right. Let's move on to this couple. Now, this couple here is confusing me. They're really confusing to me because I don't know if Cody is into this girl or not. He goes up and down. Cody and Selena is who we talking about. And so Selena has these highs and lows with Cody. We saw at one dinner party that She got so emotional. And we talked about this probably about a week or week and a half ago, where she got so emotional at the dinner party and Cody wouldn't even give her the time of day, right? And that you know, he's like, "Well, I'm just a cold person and I'm not empathetic." And and when a person says that they don't have empathy, that's a red flag. Empathy is one of the most important things when you're dealing with other people. Now, you can be empathetic to a fault where you become selfless and, to your own personal detriment. But at some point, empathy has to be involved when you're dealing with other people. Rebel says, I don't think Cody and Selena will work out. I don't think so either. I think Cody, know he made some crazy statements. One thing that really started off with them is him saying that her look, with her being Asian was the issue. Boy, the internet went crazy with that. So then he kind of backpedaled and kind of cleaned up his act. They end up sleeping together. And then we had another low because all she wanted was a hug and he wouldn't give it to her. And he says, I'm a cold person with no empathy. Didn't show her any kind of empathy or sympathy at that party when she was crying. And then they're back on this high again. I just don't get it. Selena and Cody's a roller coaster. Yeah, I'm so over this couple, and they still continue to stay here. So I don't know if this is an attempt for Cody to kind of clean up his act or clean up everything so he can come out looking like a better guy at the end or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's a roller coaster with these two. The Lockstar Chronicles say I fast forward through their segments because, in my opinion, Cody is not into her. I don't think he is either. I really truly don't think he is either. Kim says he's just staying so he won't seem like he doesn't like her cause her race. Yeah, he's trying to clean up. He's trying to do damage control. I think. I'm assuming. I don't know this guy, but from the way it looks, that's what it looked like to me. Participants hooking up with someone they're not married to should not be made to leave. My guess, the walkout involves Carolina and Daniel. Ooh, that would be interesting, Jocelyn. Maybe that's why they get pissed off because they're like, oh, you're going to let her out to go with another dude? Maybe that's what it is. We'll have to see. When Cody's stepdad said he has never said something nice to me, I was like, ooh, he doesn't have anything nice to say anyone. Really? So that's right. In the are you talking about in the VIP movie passes thing? The stepdad said he has never said anything nice to him. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying about the whole empathy thing. This guy, and the thing is, he's self-aware that he doesn't have empathy. So when somebody tells you that I am not an empathetic person, you need to see that as a red flag. You need to see that as a red flag. You might need to hightail it out of there because that means that if they see you in a dire situation, they don't care. There's no feeling there that you're hurt, that you're mentally, physically hurt, that you're not, empathy, person that lack empathy, you couldn't be around a person because if something happens, they could care less to you if something happened to you. So, yeah, I'm not feeling this. But Selena is excited though this week that Cody's behavior throughout the week has been more affectionate. I like him, is what she says. And I'm like, oh, okay. Another roller coaster high. And Cody is like, I do like Selena as well. And I'm like, y'all sound like 13-year-olds. I like you. You like me. I'm like, okay, come on. So the experts say that their relationship is brilliant and they both chose to stay in the experiment. And I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah, she's actually trying to push to make this work. And I think Cody is like, well, if I walk away, I come out of this, social media is going to have a field day with me. Let me clean this up. Because a person with no empathy, they don't care. They don't care how you feel. And they can definitely fake the funk to put on, just to put on a good show, to make sure people around them think, oh, wow, he's making changes. Let's see what we got. Okay. I had an ex like that. No empathy is a major red flag. Absolutely. Selena is delusional like Matt. Yeah, why do you want to beg somebody to be with you? I just don't get that. Check the box, yes or no, if you like me. Yeah, like grade school. You're absolutely right, Kim. Potential love bombing. Yeah, the thing is that it's like what do they call that? Breadcrumbing. If you guys are familiar with the term breadcrumbing, what that is that I'm going to throw you a few breadcrumbs because I know you want something from me. When you get those breadcrumbs, that person is usually on this emotional high. But because it's a crumb, it's not a lot to chew on. So they're I'm gonna throw you a crumb here. I'm gonna throw you a crumb there. And as long as that person keep picking up those crumbs, the person is throwing the crumbs is only giving them just a little to help them get through. They're not actually participating in the process. And that's exactly what that is. And unfortunately, in Selena's case, you're going to end up with your heart broken because the thing is that you are continually pushing your feelings deeper and deeper and deeper into this situation, and this person is not 100% with you. Guess what's going to happen? They can easily walk away with this when this is over. So when the cameras go away, there's nobody around, they'll be like, oh, I don't think this is going to work. I don't feel like really feel a connection, or they'll just lob a grenade in the relationship just to pick a fight and say, "Oh, you know what? It's over," and then be smiling on the way out the door because they want an easy way out. But either she cut her losses now, which she should have cut her losses a while ago, but either she cut her losses now or she's going to get really hurt if her feelings are as deep as it looks. Breadcrumbing sound right. Absolutely. That's exactly what that is. Bridget. Hi, Bridget. Both Celine and Cody lack emotional intelligence. Sounds just like it is. David said it will work because Selena is willing to bend all the way back to her near behind to make him happy. And she don't want to add to the list of disappointment to her parents. Okay, but the thing about that, David, is that even if she been all the way back to do whatever, or don't want to disappoint her parent, she can't make him stay. If this guy says, you know what, I'm pretty much done with this. This is a wrap. It's over, and it's going to be easy for him to disconnect because he has no empathy, right? So she can do whatever she can to try to keep him there just to keep, say, face with her parents. But if he don't want to be there, he can leave. That's the thing. He can leave. So it'll be interesting. You're right. I was a crumb picker once upon a time and was left heartbroken. That's something about, and I don't want to get deep into psychology. I absolutely loves psychology. But that's the thing about emotional abusers, and I'm not saying he's one, so I don't want to label people, but in the term itself of emotional abuse, breadcrumbing, love bombing, hoovering, all of those different terms that's related to the cluster B, which is NPD, BPD, and HPD. So, narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and borderline personality disorder. They're part of that cluster B, which is the nervous disorders, because there's different types. There's cluster C and all that. But I'm not going to give a psych lesson. But anywho, you'll find these types of things when people are emotionally abusing people because they can't emotionally connect. They have no emotions, they have no empathy. So they just act in certain ways to continue to get adoration, If you're a drama queen, which is histrionic, you want attention. If you're narcissistic, you want supply. If you're borderline, you want people to be around to attach to. So, I mean, you'll find those types of things. You're right. I was a crime picker. Very, very true. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, to get back on track, because I wasn't trying to go down the whole psych road, Cody and Selena, it's not going to work long term. There's no emotional attachment. If you listen to his stepfather saying he never said a nice thing to him, and that's his mother's husband, you've only known him for what, 8 weeks? You think he's going to connect to you? I don't know how long he's known the stepdad, but for whatever length of time he's known the stepdad, and now you're trying to get him to connect with you, and he's telling you, I am not an empathetic person. I'm cold. So any affection that he's showing her is obviously just to get along. And I hate to say that because I don't know this man. I'm just going by what he's saying and what we're seeing. And it's an emotional highs and lows. And those type of, just for her to be with this man to prove to her parents that they were wrong, it's just not a healthy outcome for her. Either way, if this guy walks away, she's going to be heartbroken, and then she also going to be upset about the fact that she disappointed her parents. So it's just not going to work. But honestly, they choose to stay in this experiment unless we actually get a shock factor with these two. I don't see this long term. That's just me. I really don't. And it's unfortunate because I honestly think that she's going to get hurt in the past. So, get hurt, period. Lack of empathy, you mean like Matt checking and Kate not noticing or caring enough to notice? I'm wondering, do you think she lacks empathy or she's just not connected to him? I actually think could passed out and would think he was trying to get her attention. You would think if he passed out, she wouldn't even be able to give him attention. Who knows? I'm wondering. You know what? Let's go back. You know what, Jocelyn? You might be right because he was choking and she could give 2 cents. Remember that last week? Matt was choking on a biscuit, and when he said, man, I was choking, she said, you need to chew your food better. So maybe you are right. You are right, Jocelyn. Cody think he's hotter than he really is, so he's not taking experience seriously. Yeah, I don't even know why he came on the show. I really don't. All right, let's talk about these two, Sam and Al. I felt so bad for Al. Oh my gosh. So Samantha, because she was on really good strides with Al until what we saw with the whole VIP passes week, because he answered the question about what he do after work and what his goals are for the next 5 years. And with those two questions, he really did not score any brownie points with her father. And with that being said, of course, Sam, she kind of, I guess, got an awakening and was like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't be doing this with Al. And so we saw the picnic that they had, and she was like, I need more from you, but she don't know what more is. We talked about that in the previous live. How do you tell somebody I need more from you? And then when they say, well, what do you need? I don't know. That makes no sense. Hey, Jacinta. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, 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 girly. I like to play video. I know a lot of guys who like to play video games. And some guys that play video games are married. Actually, here in the States, there are college scholarships for people that compete in video games. People get paid to play video games. People stream live on YouTube, and what's that other streaming service I forgot that's really big on that? People get paid off of that stuff too. So I think the dad, I mean, dad is older. Video games, to some people don't look serious, like video games. Can't you do something else productive? But I wonder if video games is something that Al, is he doing it for fun? Or does he actually just does he make money from it? Twitch, absolutely. That's the name of it. Let's see. Al needs to grow up, but I need Sam to open up her mouth and say something. Yeah, but the thing is, we've been seeing um Al trying to put in work. This man been cooking. We saw him iron his own clothes. He's been doing laundry. I mean, he's been actually doing the work, and the thing is, Sam, if I don't even sometimes in the beginning, I was wondering why they even put these two together. Because number one, she's 27, she runs her own business, and you put a 25-year-old guy who never have I mean, he works as a carpenter, but he's never done anything for himself in his life because mom always did it. They're like Jasmina and Michael. Yep, pretty much. He was just honest, but nevertheless, he's not ready for marriage. My thing is why he signed up for the show if he's not ready. I like video games too, but I'm a smart, ambitious person. It doesn't have to mean anything bad. It just actually improved my mind in so many ways. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple old school games that, I enjoy. I do other things like YouTube. I have a 9 to 5 and the other things that I do, but and I have a skincare business. But the thing is that every now and then some people, it's not like, because the guy has a job, right? So I don't think he's up playing video games for 12 hours a day. It's possibly that once he get home, and especially when he was single, he didn't have a wife, he doesn't have children, so maybe when he got home he played video games. I don't know if they still playing games during the experiment. Okay, wait a minute, let's see. I think she wants to tell him to grow up and be a real man. Hey, Kevin. Al works hard and owns investment properties. Really? Really, really, really? Okay. David says, don't encourage that. I don't think most men will marry a man who plays game to lead the family. I know guys who get paid to play, but to use that to. Yeah, I got you. I understand. Oh, most definitely. I totally get it. Asheray say, I'm a bit confused because did Sam ever tell Al what her needs were prior to the picnic? Because obviously he's young, but if someone is saying, what is it that they need from me? And your answer is more. Yeah, that was the issue that I had when we talked on the live on Thursday, which was, you saying, I need more from you. And Al was like, well, what do you mean by more? I just need more. I don't know what that is, just more. That's a general term. That can mean anything: more time, more affection, uh more love, more housekeeping, more what do you need? More what? And she didn't really clarify that. So you're absolutely right. He said he traded stocks. Okay. So I mean, with her knowing that, because here's the thing, stocks and Bitcoin and some of these other this other money that's going on. I mean, people making big bank out of that. I know at my daughter's friends, they make a ton of cash off of trading. So yeah, who knows? He probably got some stuff going on. Jacinta says, one of my favorite streamers does video games online and he's very successful, middle-aged person. It's just a fun, relaxing pastime and you can make money and ease stress to help the brain. That, yeah, it depends on the person. You got some people who can balance it out and make an income from it. I guess where it becomes an issue is where there's an imbalance, because my son is a video gamer. He's a gamer. He has a game chair. He streams across the world with people. He's a gamer. However, he's also a college student. So there's times where he have to tell folks, I got to cut it off. I got homework to do. I mean, he graduates, he'll be a senior in the fall. So there are times where he has to balance that out in order to make sure he keeps his grades up. And so far, he's been doing that. So it's all about balance. That's what it comes down to. I'm tired of this couple already. He's just young at heart. Nothing wrong with them as individuals, but together as a no. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he should be with an older woman and really probably not ready for the show. Yeah, that's true. At least Al is honest. They need to stop telling him to be more honest. Al can't stifle himself for Sam. Just that Sam don't want to lose herself. That's a good point, Jacinta. That is a good point because here's the thing. She said in today's episode, she feel like she is squashing her ambition and her passion and she don't want to lose herself. And she said she needs more of a deeper connection, passion, and inspiration, you know? So, yes, I agree with that. Um, Bridget. Hi, Bridget. Maybe Sam does not like Al as much to fight for him. She feels more like a mom and less than a wife. Those childish games. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's one of the things that the experts brought up. John told him, you need to do a lot better. Jumping on tables, because he actually body slammed the table twice at the dinner party, and drinking from shoes because he did two shoeies isn't going to cut it. John told him it's time to grow up. So, I mean, for guys in college and stuff like that, that might happen, but you're in a marriage now. So I can totally understand where, John Aiken is coming from. Let's see. Sam never clearly told Al what she's looking for and what she needs. That's my problem. Could ask deeper questions. Yes. Al is a plumber who just finished his training. Please, Sam is the one who is in the big court. Yes, that's correct. She is, yes, she runs a business, right, Dave? I think she's a business owner. Dave is a carpenter, no good, true. Hey, Bridget, Buck, welcome. That 5-year question would have been a red flag for me as well. He needs to be on Love Island. Yeah, he would have been a better fit for Love Island. Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. Yeah, those shoeies was crazy. She needs to find a mature, established, or on his way guy. He needs to build his bread and grow, if at all, to be with a younger, still developing girl. Yep. He's seen that's the term frat boy. He does that behavior. David, yes, she's a director in a company. That's what I thought. I thought she was a business owner or she's a higher level executive in a business or something. So you're absolutely correct. But yeah, he got to do better at these dinner parties. I understand he has this childlike mentality and this fun loving guy who would just do anything, but at some point where does that kind of adjust, you know what I mean? So yeah, where does that adjust at a particular point? But hopefully we'll see if the two of them, what they're gonna do, because they decided this. Well, wait a minute, she decided, I think, to leave and he decided to stay. Now, he said he didn't see that coming. He was 99% sure that she would write stay. And she was like, are you serious? So obviously, she didn't give him any idea, or do you think he was just blind to the fact that she was possibly going to leave? Hey, you again. Hey, Bridget. Al is willing to try to do anything for her, though that's big, and he is just fun loving. Yeah, he is. Okay, so Jocelyn says according to Daily Mail UK, Al owned two property worth over 2 million Australian dollars. So he's obviously not spending his money foolishly. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting to know. Very interesting to know because I mean, did they pay this guy to act like he is? Or, because remember, we always talk about actors. Is he one of the actors? Did they pay him to come and be goofy and silly? Or is this man really business savvy? If he's doing stock trading, he owns two properties and things like that, he has to have some type of financial savvy somewhat, and especially at 25 years old. So maybe we're not getting, maybe we're being gaslighted by production here. I don't know, but we'll have to see. I was blindsided. Okay. Hi, Dallin. Dallin 977. Welcome. David says she gave him a sign after meeting with the parents. Yeah. Okay. So you're talking about the picnic conversation, right? Kim, I think Sam and Dion would be good together. And he said on the lineup he found her attractive. I'm wondering, would Sam be attracted to him though? That's what I would wonder. He mentioned on the show in the trailer. Okay. Al has properties based on his parents' business. Okay. He is the son of a rich business tycoon. That's why he's so babied by his mom. Oh, got it. So he didn't do this on his own. He's basically, um, what is it called? Generational wealth. Okay. Seems a little like he's rich and bit deluded. Okay. Jacinta says, I'm starting to think that Al is a bit playing a character for the shoe because he does seem to be successful. Now, David just saying that he's the son of a business tycoon. So I'm wondering, is it his money or is it money from the family? Bridget says Al does not know how to read the room. That's why he gave interesting answers to Sam's folks. Even Brent was surprised by those answers. Yeah, well, you know what? I think he was being honest, but because remember we said we heard Mitch when he was sitting with them last week saying, "Man, you can make up a lie. You ain't got to tell that truth." So I think because that's the one thing about youth. Sometimes you thinking like, well, I might as well tell the truth. I play video games and I don't know what I want to do. So was he being honest? Yeah. But was it an answer that a dad would want to hear? No. That's the thing. Um, I like he can be emotionally mature but business savvy. Okay, Tracy. I think Selena and Dion would be a great match. Her parents would be, yeah, now that would be a good match, actually. I think Selena and Dion and Selena would definitely be open to Dion. I honestly think that they would have probably been a good match. Her parents would be more willing to accept him too. Yep, I agree with you. I totally agree with you on that. Yep, yep, yep. So, okay, hold on. My notes switched. Um, Let me go back to my notes. Okay. So, yeah, I honestly, it looked like he was trying, but the shoeies and the body slams and all that, that has to go. I mean, especially even if it wasn't with Sam, I don't think, unless you're dating an 18-year-old, well, a 19 or 20-year-old, I don't think a mature, older young woman would want to be with a guy who drink from his shoe, you know. Youth literally won't think before they speak. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So they ended up saying, well, she said she wanted to leave. He wanted to stay. And of course, that means that Sam has to stay too, which, like I said earlier, I don't get. But hey, that's what they do, obviously, on Married at First Sight Australia. Okay, another quick one that we have, and this particular couple is going to be the highlight of the week coming up, it seems like, because of the whole thing with Dominica. What Dallin says, but I don't think Sam should be breaking his spirit. He'll grow. Yeah, I mean, she would if they tell him to kind of like tone it down, that probably would kind of set him back a little bit. I just think he needs to make an adjustment. So I totally agree. Tassie said, "Hello again. My Wi-Fi is down. Who missed me? I missed you. I really did. They are so boring. You think so, Kim?" Jacinta said, "I don't like the Shuey thing, but other than that, I love Al's personality, honesty, and effort. He's a sweetheart. I can't help but like him." Yeah, I think he's pretty cool. I really do. All right, so we got this couple who is Libby and Jackson. The couple, of course, are getting along like crazy. Um, they've been doing fine. They had their feedback week at the VIP movie pass thing. And we heard Olivia says that both their moms are making plans already, and their moms' names rhyme, Mandy and Sandy. I think that's cute. You know, and especially being that the parents are really excited about these two, because I think they said, oh yeah, they're planning Christmas and they're planning get-togethers. So the parents have definitely been involved. Everybody's happy, peachy keen. We got to see what happens this coming week because, like we said, Jackson might be giving his wifey the side eye a little bit. So I like drama couples. Okay, these two are putting up a front. Something ain't right. You think so, Lily? And how are you? Welcome. Tracy says Jackson about to see the other side of Olivia, and I wonder how he's gonna take it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the preview that came out. It came out probably earlier this morning on U.S. time, but I saw a preview of Olivia saying that there's another side to me, and I have that side that nobody's ever seen. And I'm like, okay. Did you guys see that? Tassie said, I think they'll be pregnant by the end of the year. You think so, Tassie? Ooh, okay. Bridget says, I started side eyeing Olivia when she was super mean to Holly. How dare she? Yeah, a lot of people weren't in my comment section, didn't like the clap back at Dominica from Olivia. What Olivia did to Holly was bullying. My thing is Olivia was the one going at Holly, so why is she mad at Dom? Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Oh, Lily, you saw that preview? Yeah, it was a good preview. Good preview because Olivia got a dark side to her. She's all nicey and cute, on stars and rainbows, and Jackson is about to see a whole nother somebody. I don't think there's much wrong with them. It's just married at first sight playing drama. She probably was just talking about her reaction to Dom being on the other side. That's possible. They haven't really had any drama in the past 9 weeks or their 9 weeks. So maybe the producers are like, okay, we got to come up with something for these two. Dom is extra. She need challenging. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that my thing is it's one thing when you call somebody out on their behavior, but you calling everybody out and you stepping into other people's relationships like she did with the whole Mitch and Ella thing. Yeah. And I think even with that situation with Jess was being very rude and disrespectful. So, you know, Dominica saying what she said to Jess, yeah, Jess kind of deserved it. Olivia doing the same with Carolina. She doesn't know about the cheating. Nope, she sure doesn't. Do you know when your next live stream would be? Probably I'm gonna do another one Thursday. If not Thursday, it usually goes on the weekend. Yep. Also, too, if you hadn't, you guys, I see new people popping in and out. If you are enjoying this live, hit that like button. Hit the like button if you're enjoying it. Also, too, you can follow me on Instagram. We have a good time on that. I always post tea and any new content on any of the cast members from all of the shows that I do reviews on. And also, too, if you are looking for natural skincare, the link is right there above. So go check it out. Let's see. I like Dom. Yeah, okay, cool. Remy Panda. Hey, welcome. Dom will tell you exactly how it is. She sure isn't a bully though. Wait a minute. She sure isn't a bully. Okay. Just saw something about her ex-husband that we all miss. Really? You are you talking about her being with Carolina or is it something else? Okay, thanks. I don't want to miss you. Okay, good, 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 good. You're the highlight. Oh, thank you so much, Tassie. Dawn Jones. Hey, Dawn. Welcome. Boring Olivia. Yeah, because they really haven't had any drama in the last several weeks. So I could see why you would be saying that. Jacinta said, I like Dom also. She is extra, but so what? I don't like when people say others are too much. I'd rather be too much than too little. Big personality is the spice of life. Okay. Remy says, I actually thought Olivia was going to be a sweetheart. Well, look like we're going to be seeing a whole nother side to Olivia. Bridget says, Dom has the courage to say what most people are thinking, but are afraid to speak up. I guess my only thing is that if people set a boundary with you, please don't cross that boundary. I mean, that's just me. Unless I ask you for your advice, fine. But and even people, I don't want to overstep. I've never been that type to like to overstep boundaries on people. I might say, "Hey, I have a suggestion. Would you like to hear what I want?" And then I'll give them the open door. But to just that's just me. I can't speak for. Hey, if it works for you, fine. For me, not my thing. Dom doesn't take accountability in her own relationship. Now that I did mention in the previous live. She likes calling people out on their stuff, but then when it's her turn, especially when her husband called her out on the toilet thing, she thought he was being too sensitive. Your own husband is telling you you're embarrassing me. I always speak nicely of you, but when you got in front of all these people, you want to throw me under the bus. And she looked at him talking about, oh, well, that was too much? Of course. So yeah. No, you didn't miss the Carolina review. It's coming up. It's coming up. Lemon Face Kate has got to go. Welcome, JF. JF came in with a vengeance. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I laughed at that too, DI4JD. Lemon face. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys on Instagram, there is actually a filter that you could use when you're talking live to be a lemon face. It is hilarious. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Mary said, "Gotta watch out for those supposed sweet girls." That's what they say. The quiet ones you gotta watch out for. So obviously we're gonna see another side to Miss Olivia, and I'm looking for it. But at the end of the day, these two decided to stay at the commitment ceremony. So yeah, I'm like I said, I am definitely looking forward to that scenario. What is Olivia going to do? Yeah, JF came in here and pretty much shook up the chat room with the whole lemon face Kate. Just rename the filter the Kate. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's quickly talk about Tamara and Brent, and then we got a lot on the last couple, which is Caroline and Dion. So Brent reveals that they're communicating better and giving each other space when needed. And we didn't get a lot with them. Looked like they sat down on in the couple's chair or the couple's couch or whatever for like 2 minutes, and then they said stay, and then they was up and off the couch. Rebel said I skip Olivia and Jackson section of yeah. Because they don't have a lot going on. Lily says Tamara don't want Brent. She going through the emotions. Yeah. Yeah, that's some interesting content. Thanks, Mr. David. There's some interesting content on these two, but I won't say nothing much about them this week. Nope. Tamara has really mellowed out. Yeah, I just think I will say this dress that she got on, I absolutely love. I love ruched dress. Ruched dresses. But I really like this one. Um Tamara's face she makes are very telling. I know, right? JF, Tamara wants Mitch. You think so, huh? You think so? I sent you something about her. Yes, I know, Kim. I got it. I do. Ruched. Yeah, so it's spelled here Ruched. I actually bought a couple of dresses on Shein earlier today that were ruched, kind of similar to this, so I can't wait to get them in the mail. But ruched, yes, I think I pronounced it correctly. Tassie. Tracy said, I like Tamara. Doesn't want to look like the bad guy on TV. Yeah, because she started out crazy. She started out like a diva. That dress is beautiful. The green color. Yeah, I like that. Looks good on her. It looks good, good, good. Mint green ruched. Yeah, you're right, Kim. Actually, I bought to be ladies, I actually bought 3 or 4 dresses from Shein that are ruched. I like it. It looks better. I don't know. It's just something about that. Um, I know you were joking. It was funny the way you had spelled it out with the multiple O's. That was hilarious. But we really didn't get a lot. We did see their VIP pass thing where she was in the hot seat because of her how she talked to Brent. Brent did stick up for her at the end of it, and she was happy about that because she was looking like a deer in headlights when those parents were talking to her, and how she was using, pretty much using a lot of curse words when she was speaking, to Brent over the past weeks. But oh yeah, Shein is great. I usually get clothes from Shein, Fashion Nova. I used to buy stuff from Boohoo, but not lately. Haven't tried Pretty Little Thing, but usually Shein and Fashion Nova is my online shopping stores. I like them. They got cute stuff for the summer. Already started shopping for the summer. JF says if Carolina was so hurt by being cheated on, why is she cheating with Daniel? That's pretty darn interesting. Yeah. My thing is, if she wants to leave, you need to let that girl leave. But they're up next, so we're gonna have a lot to talk about with them. But with Brent and Tamara, they decided to stay. So I'm 6'2", so it's a challenge to me. Tassie, they do. If you go look for their tall section, you'll find some cute stuff in the tall section. Cause I'm 5'9", so I'm only 3 inches short. I mean 5'10", so I'm only about 3 inches shorter than you. So, and I've been able to find a lot of stuff for tall folks. All righty. So, last but not least at all is these two, Carolina and Dion. So, Dion tells the experts that this week has been mentally draining, mentally draining and hurtful. And he did say one highlight was them dancing together one night, and Carolina was like, "Hold up, nope, I wasn't dancing with you. I was laughing at you, but I wasn't dancing at you with you." Mel jumps in and says, he didn't like the way that was communicated and how she's been communicating to him because she's been disrespectful, rude, and downright nasty at some time. Yeah, she has. She's been very dismissive, and that's why I really truly think that why did you say stay together? Why did you say stay together? You should not let these people stay together if one of the partners is being rude, nasty, and disrespectful. Stop trying to push these people together. Um, then we hear Carolina, she's ranting about how she has nothing in common. Uh and then John jumps in and says, "You know what? I've taken some notes. Let's talk about some of the things that you talked about." So he wrote down why and this whole thing about not eating breakfast and not being able to bond. He doesn't work out. And then she even said that he liked watching reality TV and she liked watching documentaries. And with all of this, John says not eating breakfast is not a lack of common interest. Okay, so you guys, let me ask you something. For those in the comment section that are in a relationship or are married, when you first met your partner, are there certain common interests and core values that you needed to have as a match? And if they did not match, it was a deal breaker for you. Yes or no? If no common interest is not that big deal, say no. If common interests is a big deal for you, say yes in the comment section. I want to see what you guys have to say. Let's see what these comments says. Bridget says I renamed her as Carol Liar. Carol Liar. That's a good one. That was so rude. Jess was supposed to appear in the previous season, but it turned out her husband's exactly unacceptable, hateful social media page results in yep. Caroline is so unnecessarily cruel. Yep. Carolina is her nickname here in Australia. John Aiken brought out a book. Yes, he did, Tassie. I love when John fished out that notebook. Yep. The expert shut her down. Yeah, we'll talk about that part in a minute. Okay, so Lockstar Chronicles says no. Rebel says yes, I need common interest. Tracy says no. Tassie says if they hated animals, that would be a deal breaker. No comment, I'm single. But Kim, if there was, do you have any deal breakers if you did, I should have just opened it up to everybody. I'm sorry. So even if you're single, if you meet somebody, common values, core values and common interests, does that have to be a match for you or not really? David says, hell no to the no, no, no. That meme is hilarious. No, but common values are important. Yep. Um, Asheray says Carolina is mean. I think when Dion expressed his decisions not to stay anymore, the expert. Yes, I totally agree with you, Asheray. When he said, you know what, I'm changing my mind. I want to be out. There is no way they should have said, well, you said stay at first, so why don't you stick it through? Why would you tell that man? He's trying to assert his independence from a person who don't want to be with him. Clearly, and that's being rude, disrespectful. John said it himself. So why would you want to keep this man in something that he don't want to be? Being. Agree, Tracy. Yep. Dion shouldn't have had to take that. Nope. Totally agree. Common interests are actually a big deal for me because most of the things I do are big passions of mine, big parts of who I am. Politics might be a problem. Absolutely, Tassie. No, because my current partner are day and night. Common values are more important. Okay. My deal breaker would be a super religious guy. Interesting. Okay. Carolina doesn't fancy Dion. For the star, he's too short. Remember, she was slagging off his Cuban heels. Yeah, that's true. By adding he wear higher heels than her, Carolina has done nothing but insult him. Yes, which is why I don't understand why they made him stay after he said he wanted to leave. She does not make sense. Not being a breakfast person is not a reason. Now, that whole breakfast thing, I think she's overdoing it because why does it matter that he doesn't eat breakfast? I mean, are you looking for somebody that wants to sit and have breakfast with you every morning or what? Seriously. The other thing is now, here's the thing. I'm a very active person. I work out 5 days a week. For me, I don't need my partner to work out 5 days a week, but I would hope that he's active. I couldn't see myself with a couch potato per se because I'm just that active. The other thing is that, besides me being a YouTuber and I have a skincare business, I do those things. So I guess lifestyles have to match as well. That's just me. Now, would I say absolutely not, but I will say it would be concerning if some things don't match up. Religion, politics, things like that is a big one with most people. Um, if you don't match on that, but breakfast, I mean, people eat all times of the day. So if I eat at 7 in the morning, but my partner doesn't eat to 12, I mean, what difference does that make? I don't get that part, the breakfast thing. Maybe you guys see what she's talking about. I don't get it. But there are things that I would hope that I have a passion for that will match up. And I'm hoping that that person is understanding just as much as I would be understanding of whatever they got going on. All right. Let's see. She does not make sense. Now, you're right. The breakfast thing. Dion has earned a first class ticket home, $1 million. Okay, Tassie. Her reasons are superficial. JF says, I think he already has 1 million. He probably does. Carolina was was late for her wedding 3 hours, so she's self-absorbed. Absolutely. I need my partner to be active and take care of himself. Absolutely. I agree. Rebel, I totally agree. Because it's her favorite meal of the day, which makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, if she wants to eat breakfast at 8 a.m., go and eat breakfast. Even if he don't eat breakfast, he can sit and have a conversation with you. Maybe he doesn't want to eat till 12. There are people who intermittent fast. Now, I don't know if Dion is an intermittent faster, but people that are intermittent fasting, sometimes they don't eat until 12 and stop eating until 7. Depends on the schedule that they're on. Carolina just doesn't like the man. Yeah, she don't like him. She's not interested. The stuff she stated are just surface and could be overlooked and could be compromised or worked on. That's true. Tracy, exactly. Dion was willing to try and do all that stuff with her. Now that's the other thing. If a person is open to trying, or if you are open to trying something that maybe the other partner is interested in, that would be great. That's what you call compromise. Okay, so the way Daniel grabbed the you think they got it in, David? David, you are hilarious. Celebrating my 20th anniversary this year. Core values are essential. Common interests are nice but not necessary. Congratulations on 20 years this year, Jocelyn. Absolutely. That's awesome. I don't like Carolina, but going out for coffee and breakfast are social activities. Okay. Kevin, she is the Australia version of Alyssa from Man at First Sight. Pretty much. Pretty much. Um, Lockstar Chronicles said, I mean, have we heard Dion say he refuses to set foot in the gym? I don't think so. It's just Carolina clutching the straws. Yeah, I don't know if they had a conversation because the only thing I remember her saying at the dinner party was that um she told people there that he doesn't work out, he doesn't go to the gym, and and stuff like that. I don't know if Dion said, well, no, I don't like to work out. We never heard that from him. But she just automatically saying he doesn't go to the gym, you know. Now I do know people that who are avid people that work out. They prefer to be with people that work out. But it's your choice. You have to line up with, what works for you. But there are people who work out 7 days a week in the gym 2 hours a day. They want to be with somebody who also work out and take care of their health too. So I do know that for a fact. Everybody's agreeing with Kevin. Yeah, she's like Alyssa. Um, let's see. What do you think about Al? We talked about Al already. I could do without Carolina. They're making an Inez out of her. Yeah, but see, here's my thing. You want them to stay together. You telling her how bad she is, but you want her to stay in this relationship. And then in the next couple episodes, we're gonna see her with Daniel, and the cameras are the ones showing us that. So production knows what's going on, and you're delivering it. Now I'm wondering, in the next commitment ceremony next week, are they gonna call this whole situation out with with Daniel and Carolina? Jacinta says Dion said several times on the show that he was willing to compromise for her and try things she liked and she wanted. She doesn't have to be so mean regardless. Yeah, she's cold. My man goes to gym 5 days a week, and I agreed to go with him once a week. He really appreciate. Yeah, because you know what, Tracy, you're trying. Even though you're not there 5 days a week, just the fact that you go with him once a week, he appreciates that you're trying. So that's awesome. They'll probably drag it out. Absolutely. It looked like Daniel was backstage on the set. Yeah, but the thing is that production is still filming all of this. And even with what we saw with Carolina at the gym and with Daniel, why didn't John Aiken or any of the other experts, Alessandra or Mel, bring up the fact of that happening? They didn't bring that up at all. Now they brought up her attitude and her superficial reasons for not connecting with him, but she was hanging out with Daniel. I know the experts has to know about that. Why didn't you bring that up? That would have definitely, but see, I know why they didn't bring it up, because if they did, then Dion would have definitely walked. And they don't want Dion to walk. They want to continue this drama. So of course they wouldn't tell Dion that she was with Daniel. She had on the same green outfit when she was with him. Yep. These shows drag everything out. Absolutely. They drag everything out for the long haul. And it's like, so yeah, I honestly, I know originally earlier we were talking about how whether or not, um, were they going to bring up the whole Daniel thing? Of course they wasn't, because they needed Dion to stay. If they had a brought up that she was seeing Daniel at the gym and going to his hotel room and all of that, Daniel would have cut out so fast. He was like, I ain't staying. So they need to keep him there. Exactly. I really want Daniel and her to get caught. Dion deserves to know. He's a patient man, but he'll be gone like yesterday if he knew that. Of course he would. That's why the experts didn't tell him today. Yep. And yeah, Kim, to also keep us coming back for more too. You are absolutely correct. But let's talk about this other part too with Carolina, because she kept bringing up this whole thing about her being Latina, and that's her reasoning for acting that way. And Alessandra was offended by that, because Alessandra is Latina as well. Because she was like, oh, I'm a Latina, and, I'm passionate and spicy and all of this. And so it was so funny when they put the cameras at the couch. We saw both John and Mel look to their left at Alessandra, because Alessandra was about to go in. And Alessandra said that she was personally insulted with the way she tried to justify her nastiness by being Latina. And she says that, as her being a Latina woman, that of course we are spicy and very passionate, but we're never ever disrespectful and nasty and demeaning. And she says that she's not going to accept that as a representation of Latina women. That shut her down real quick. Real quick. Alessandra cut her off at the knees real quick with that statement. She was like, no, no, no. You ain't finna put a blanket on all Latina women saying that I'm this way because of who I am culturally. And my thing is, how did she think that was going to fly? Did she not know Alessandra was Latina as well? I mean, seriously. Jocelyn says Carolina wants what she wants when and how she wants it. The moment she's told no, she's out of there. Yep. Alexandra checked her in a very respectful way. Yes, she did. But the fact of the matter, she checked her. Because you don't do that. Don't do that. That's a stereotype. Don't bring, why would you embrace that stereotype for yourself and then use that as a reason of justification for your behavior? And you got another Latina woman sitting across from you who happens to be an expert. You did not think she was going to call you out on that? What did you, I mean, did she think that Alessandra was going to just be silent and agree with her? Of course not. Yeah, I mean, Alessandra put it out there. She was respectful, but she got her point across because there was nothing else that Carolina could say. She couldn't say nothing else. All she looked, she was like, "Oh, yeah, I can't. Mm-mm. There's nothing she could. She couldn't touch that statement with a 10-foot pole." When she said English not her first language, and Alexandra said mine too. Yeah, because she tried to play it like, well, English is not my first language. Maybe I'm not coming across the right way, or I'm not understanding. Alexandra was like, hold on, it's not mine either, but I also know how to act. Jordan, hey Jordan Parker 65, welcome. Right, because the last three couples are awful, and it really would make the experts look bad if two couples were gone in commitment ceremonies and the third one wanted to leave. Yeah, because Jess, Daniel, gone. Matt, Kate, nothing. There's nothing there, especially with Kate. And then now Carolina and Dion. They messed up. Carolina needs to go for therapy. She's one spoiled person. I feel for a child. Yeah, somebody mentioned in my comment section that her development may be arrested at the point when she got pregnant with her 16-year-old son. I thought that was a pretty interesting statement. Susan said, exactly, I have Latinos in my family and they would be disgusted if they saw that. Absolutely. Alessandra is the best expert. Yeah, she did a good job with that one. She definitely did a good job with that one. Ooh, she really checked her on that. Yes, she did. But that was very disrespectful to, she disrespected a whole group of women using that trope. Because it's a trope. It's a stereotype. Um then the interesting thing is he wrote stay, but she said I want to leave, claiming that she couldn't see no more than a friendship. And I wouldn't, if it was up to Dion, I wouldn't think he want to be a friend of hers. What friend? If you're being rude, nasty, and disrespectful, how you want to be a friend to him? And Dion was like, "Shoot, I wrote stay, but I want to be out," and I don't blame him. But what do? We see the experts encourage the groom to continue and try to turn this relationship around and give it one more week. And I'm like, oh no, it just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't like that rule. So after all this happened, this is where Dominica calls Carolina rude, adding that her behavior is effing disgusting. And she said that her effort was zero effort. Um, and then of course with her, she was like, I'm not engaging with you. I'm not engaging with you. And then, of course, she ran off the set. Then Dominica, after she ran off the set, pretty much called her an a hole. And that's when Olivia snapped on her. You just got to hate somebody, don't you? And it wasn't just her, it was Jess too. You went for Jess at the dinner party. You went for Jess when she was on the couch last week. You just got to pick on somebody. And what did she say that for? Because Dominica hit her to say, I'm going to say it to your face. And neither one of them are backing down. And then she put um Olivia decided to put Dominica on notice. You need to choose your words carefully before you start spitting them out at people. I mean, and then at that point, that's when we saw Dion trying to catch up with Carolina, and then of course, Dominica was like, I don't even see why he trying to catch up with her and console her. Love era owning, yeah, I loved it too, Jocelyn. Bordage, Jocelyn, yes. Love Alexandra owning Carolina at the Latina excuse. Absolutely. They want more drama. Carolina is fully dating her side piece. That's what did you see my article, my review last week where I called Daniel her sneaky link? Yeah, that's what my term. Call him her sneaky link. It's true, Dominica isn't wrong. She called it as it is. I love Dom, but I do think she was too outspoken. See, that's the type of thing I was getting in my comment section. So like Lily, and welcome Lily. See Christmas. Hey, how are you? Lily is like she wasn't wrong, and then Di4J is like, I think she's outspoken. So yeah, you kind of got it split. You got some people that think she was like, you know what, the experts. Because Olivia said to Dominica, the experts just called them out. They told them what to do. And now you just had to throw your 2 cents in. I'm tired of Olivia taking up for all these blatantly wrong people. I agree with Dom. She calls a spade a spade. Yep. Dominica says what they are all afraid to say, that Carolina thinks she's better than everyone. I would be embarrassed if my child saw me behave that way. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Carolina's behavior it set off a whole lot of stuff, but I honestly think that this is production produced because we haven't heard a peep out of Olivia, and now with Olivia now coming for Dominica, it's now leading us into this week that we're currently moving into. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised that they are manufacturing this drama, possibly. I'm here for it because I want to see how this all play out between Olivia and Demonica, but it's just pretty interesting. Olivia wants to speak up now. Yeah, she's not wrong, but she didn't add anything new to the conversation. Right, because the experts had already said what they said. Dominica peeped how Mr. Gaslighter was manipulating the crowd, and Olivia was trying to cover for him. Olivia doesn't have the best judgment. Excuse me. Yep, it's just crazy. You don't know. Like I say, Olivia haven't had any drama for the last 9 weeks. It's just been sunshine and rainbows. Now all of a sudden, she's coming out with this dark side this week, and it starts with her clapping back at Dominica. So I'm wondering, is this manufactured drama? Thanks for the warm. You are so welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you enjoying it. I'm glad you're here too. All right. But now, what do you think about Dion running off to comfort uh Carolina, and she turned around when he's trying to comfort her, she accused him of being fake. He's like, I just thought it was the right thing to do because no one else is jumping up. I wanted to see if you're okay. I'm your partner in this experiment. And she was like, no, I don't agree at all. It's just, I'm like, he should have just left that girl alone. Olivia's working for more camera time. Probably so. I mean, it's something with this. It is something with this. Dion is a gentleman. Yes, he is. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. Then they took us back into the room with the couples because this is where we heard Dominica say a person that's a bully needs to be called a bully. And she talks about how she was bullied as a kid. Bullying is a repeated behavior, and when you see the repeat behavior over and over again, you gotta what is that? Was Olivia. She said something. She said bullying is a repeated behavior, And we've seen you repeat this behavior over and over again. So she was like, how you going to talk about bullying when that's what you doing? That's what basically Olivia was trying to say, and say, hey, since you were bullied and now you're turning into a bully. That's what she was trying to call her ass. What do you think about that statement? Dom is not wrong for what she says. Dom just don't take her own advice. When her husband told, yeah, that Tracy, that's what I was talking about earlier. It's one thing when she calls people out, but her own husband called her out, and it took them a while just for her to apologize because she thought he was being too sensitive when she was throwing him under the bus at Kate and Matt's wedding reception. I hate how constantly she plays victim and never gives Dion credit for what he does at all and then try to switch it around. Yeah, she did. Oh, you just putting on a show. You trying to make me look like a bad person. And Dion was like, look, I just came out here to see if you was all right. I ain't trying to really even have a conversation. I just want to make sure you okay. You know, he should have just left her alone. Should just left her alone. The scary part about Olivia is that she has been pretending to be this gentle butterfly. I saw how she behaved on the couch and raised the expert's eyebrows. Yep, it's going to be interesting to see whether, I'm wondering if this is manufactured or if this is really Olivia just showing her true colors. So we'll definitely get to see what this is all about. Mary says, about time Susan Jackson, I don't think has seen the real Olivia yet. Nope, I don't think so either. I mean, if she's being undercover a different person, he needs to see this. He needs to see it. Dom was triggered by Carolina's behavior, and Olivia can't take Dom standing up for others, though she needs to set boundaries with others. That's true. Olivia had the right definition, but the wrong person, in my opinion. Dominica is outspoken, but she came after people that need to be called out. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like I mean, if you want to, okay, if you see something that I've done wrong, just pull me to the side, but just to call me out in front of everybody. It's like these exposés that they tend to do. I'm going to expose you. Just if I got a problem with somebody or I see something, I'm going to pull you to the side and say, hey, I feel this, that, and the third. That's just me. I mean, I do see some of you guys are like, oh yeah, I'm outspoken. That's hey, that's your personality. That's cool if that works for you. So I'm not going to say you should be, you shouldn't be. That's not my place to do that. But I know for me, if I see something, I'm going to have a conversation with you, but I don't need to put you on blast in front of 20 people. I guess. That's just my thing. It's probably all scripted. How much you just never know, JF. And the thing is, with these contracts, production teams don't want the world to know because in their contract, especially in the U.S., a lot of them, I think Married at First Sight U.S. out of all of the shows like Ready to Love, The Bachelor, Temptation Island, a lot of them can't talk about stuff, but it's really strict with Married at First Sight in the US. Really strict. You talking about a lawsuit could fall in your lap if you say the wrong thing? Yeah. And there has been, because even Alyssa tried to get her lawyers involved to sever the marriage in the beginning. That tea is on my Instagram. I think it got over 400,000 views. That tea came out about how when Chris off camera and Alyssa went to sign their marriage license, she didn't want to sign it. And at the same time, when she was there, she called the lawyers and trying to get her out of this at the beginning. So she was trying to get out of this, but I'm assuming that the lawyers was like, nah, this is an ironclad contract. These production teams know what they're doing. So that's why, people say, hey, you think I should sign up for a reality? You better think about that one. So, um, let's see. If you want Dom to do it, Olivia should too. Okay, that makes sense. Dom reminds me of Sorrel from season 6. She called people out on their BS. And production like that type of stuff. Um, a good part of the show is definitely scripted for drama, and people will never talk about it because of the contract. Absolutely. I know over here, if you break, kind of go rogue on your own, they could sue you into oblivion over here. Um, guess what? 74. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jacinta says, in my experience, taking people like that to the side doesn't do any good. I mean, but that works for me. To each his own. Because here's the thing, people are going to do what they want to do. So even if Dom calls people out, at the end of the day, it's that person's choice to change. So you could call a person out or you can pull them to the private. But if that person don't want to change, they ain't gonna change. We need to go back to Flavor of Love. Really? Um, Dion is a true gentleman. I would not blame him if he chose to stay in the seat. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, she chose to walk off. And I mean, I get it. He was trying to be nice. He's her partner. He wanted to check on her, but that girl don't want to be bothered with you. Just leave her be. Alyssa wanted the checks and the clout. Her lawyers are going to take her money, but she will lose the case. Well, she tried that at the beginning. So right after they got married, because see, I think the way it's set up, somebody told this story, and I'm just gonna say alleged, but apparently they do a ceremony on TV first and then they go and actually do the marriage license. So it's not finalized until they actually go to an officiant or a courthouse or whatever. But the TV marriage happens usually before the actual signing. Allegedly, that's what one of the cast members had mentioned or something. But so at that point, that's when she tried to get her lawyers involved. Dom should have talked to Carolina when they were in the group settings. Tamara's weird thing where both were silent, talked about the situation. Carolina left. Production played a number on us. That's a good point, Bridget. Yes, they did. Jocelyn says, wasn't Olivia a teacher before she took leave? Care of her father, she would know about bullying. As for why she was suddenly vocal, she reached saturation point. Maybe that's what it was for her. She got tired of hearing what Dominica was doing. I was going to say Dominic. I'm like Dom, but I have just matured enough and got enough counseling to learn how to have tact now. Okay, Jacinta. I think. Oh, so you heard about that, huh, Rebel? So you keeping up just like the rest of us. Guilty Pleasure TV. Welcome. Hi. Just found your channel. Great. I'm glad you're here. Carolina just wanted to be on the show long enough to promote her business. Yeah, but if she ends up as the villain, which it looks like she's going to be, that's not going to help her business at all. Agree, Bridget. I wouldn't doubt production told him to save it for later. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. So it was a pretty darn crazy commitment ceremony. Um, and of course Dominica's not happy about this. She didn't like what Olivia had to say. She said what Olivia said to her was the worst possible thing anybody could have said to her. I'm like, that's the worst thing somebody could say, is just pretty much. So I mean, I find that pretty interesting because sometimes, even though Dominica calls people out, and usually, I mean, the reason that she call them out, especially people like Jess and some of the other folks she called out. The thing is, when somebody has something to say to her, her ego is fragile. So, is she the type of person that can dish it, but she can't take it? Because even before Olivia, we talked about her own husband. Now, granted, they bounced back from it, but when his initial reaction was what it was, she didn't see anything wrong with it, and she thought he was being too sensitive for bringing it up. So it's like, okay, you good at calling people out, but if somebody say something to you, then you're hurt now. So it was a good episode. Yeah, it was. That's just dramatic. Dom, she can call others out, but gets mad when she's called out. Absolutely. It's like you can dish it, but you can't take it. Whether it's true or not. I mean, Olivia said what she said, and like a lot of people are saying, wait till she find out what Carolina is doing with Daniel. Maybe she'll change her tune. But just the fact of the matter that, Olivia is like, can you leave people alone? Stop bullying people. You know, Technically, Olivia was calling her out now. And she was like, that's hurtful. How could you say that to me? I can't believe you said that to me. Okay, you should be able to take it. She's just like, oh, I don't care what you have to say. I'm gonna continue to do what I do, and I'm gonna call people out. Don't matter. No, she got hurt behind that. So I found that pretty interesting, and for her to be so reactive in the next episode where we see her break a glass at that table. Yeah, I'm curious to see why she breaking glasses and stuff. And if I was Jack, we talking about how Jackson is supposed to give Olivia the side eye. Jack need to be giving Dominica a side eye. You breaking glasses too? Yeah, that's crazy. Same for Carolyn and David. I wish Dom would learn to take it at least from her husband. I mean, he wasn't even mean, loud, disrespectful about it. He was like, that hurt my feelings. You saying these things about me in front of all these people. So she was loud talking about her husband's home life behaviors in front of people at a reception. And some of those people wasn't even the couples. Some of these people were Matt and Kate's people. So it's like, at what point do you know when to like cut it out? Especially with your husband. I mean, that makes no sense. Jack may be sensitive, but Dom needs to cater to that if she doesn't want to be divorced again. At the same time, I want to call out the people that need to be called out. All right, Lily. Yes, I didn't even think about that. I would be definitely giving her the side eye. I was Jack. Yeah, I mean, you get that mad when you take a wine glass and break it, slam it against the table and break it. Jack need to be looking like, oh my God, what is this? What is this? Just as much as Jackson is giving Olivia the side eye for going toe to toe with Dominica across that table. Um, let's see. One main reason her relationship with Jack will work for however long is because he can't hold her accountable. Yeah. And he won't even try because he knows that if he tried to hold her accountable, Dominica will probably go, she will clap back at him. And as they say, some people don't want that smoke. He don't want that. Not from Dominica. So my thing is, does it get to a boiling point with him where it's too much for him as time go on? Jack seems so he does seem to be very sweet and laid back. And it's just so unfortunate that Dominica is just so, I mean, it's one thing with calling people out, but your own husband, you embarrassed this man. You embarrassed him. Why are you talking about his toilet habits amongst strangers? It was only a couple of the other couples there. The rest were, Matt and Kate's people. Why are you talking about this man's toilet issues or how he does at home and stuff like that? That ain't nobody's business. That's family business. You keep that in house. If you have an issue with Jack and how his toilet issues are and things like that, go home and talk about that. But you don't have to put him on blast in front of everybody. That was crazy to me. So I'm looking forward to this week. It's going to be crazy. This is the week where we see all the couples walk out on the experts. I want to know why. Somebody in the chat group today said that it's probably because of the whole Daniel and Carolina thing. I don't know, but I'm interested in finding out. Very interested in finding out. So, guys, we had a good show. We hit a high today with we had 50 some people in the chat today. I'm glad all of you guys are here. Again, I want to thank all of you for subscribing, my newbies, my OGs. We hit 25,000 on this channel. I appreciate you guys so much. And for those that follow me on IG, I hit 13,000 over there. You guys, if you have IG, follow me over there. I'm posting about Love is Blind, Ready to Love, Temptation Island, Married at First Sight, Australia and US. I post about past cast members, current cast members, people that have gotten new relationships, who didn't had babies, who didn't got married, any type of tea. I do a lot of reels over there. So you can even see videos, short videos that I clip and I put them on there. So my hashtag, or not hashtag, but my handle, my Instagram handle is there. It's Romance Review TV. If you want to support the channel, I appreciate that. You can support it on the Cash App, and it's listed there. And if you want to check out the skincare, natural skincare, everything that you're looking for, hair, skin, men's care, all's there. And the link is there as well. So I enjoyed it. Like the video before you check out. We will be doing another live coming up this week. I'm glad you're enjoying the community. Good vibe. Absolutely. We cut it down the middle here, Jordan. We keep it light, we keep it fun. We don't do any bullying over here. We're not biased. We don't trash talk. We talk a little bit of something here and there. We have fun over here. And I like to keep it light. And one thing about my channel that, I'm very objective in my perspective. So that's what we do over here. So no, I did not do a vid on the Love is Blind reunion. I some of the cast members, some of the subscribers when we did the live on Thursday said that they wanted me to do a Love is Blind live this week. So I think I'm gonna do a Love is Blind live this week. You'll get a notification. um I wanted to wait till everybody watch it because I was posting stuff. I watched it first thing Friday morning, and then when I was over, watching it and it was done, I started posting about it, and people were like, "Oh my God, you're spoiling it for me. It's too early." So I said, you know what? I'm gonna let the weekend go by. Let you guys watch it, and then I'll set up a time this week where we can do a quick live and we can talk about Love is Blind reunion. Okay? So thank you guys for being on the live today. I really appreciate it. I enjoy all of you. Each and every week since I've been doing this live, I've been appreciating the increasing support, and even the people that didn't get a chance to watch live the replays. I do see the fact that you guys are coming to watch even after we're not on live. So I appreciate that as well. So again, thank you guys. You are so welcome. I look forward to your early post. Absolutely. Have a good night. It's about 6:30 here. We're still in Sunday. I know people like David is already in Monday. So Australia is like 17 hours ahead of me. So you guys have a good evening. And we will see you in the next video. See you guys later. Bye.